have everything, I guess.
We can figure out how to solve it.
Welcome, welcome. Join us in song. Where do we come from? Where are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Come and go with where I'm bound. And there'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. Where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be freedom. Where I'm bound, there'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. Where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound.
I have heard a voice, and that voice has asked me to tell you to turn your phones on airplane mode or off. I think there's some interference with all the cell phones and some of the microphones in the room. Still working out the kinks, but if you can take a moment to turn your cell phone completely off or on airplane mode, we'd sure appreciate it. Welcome. Welcome. I'm Reverend Taryn Strauss, Senior Minister here. Do you know where you are? Yeah? You are on holy grounds. You are at at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. That's where you are. You are also in a place that will ask more of you, will call you to become someone deeper, braver, more compassionate, someone beyond who you are today. You are in a community that is working to transform itself and to transform lives, your life. To that end, you will be called to be courageous, to take courageous action. You will be called into soulful connection. You are in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, and I want you to know, I want you to hear it from my lips that if you are queer, if you are transgender, if you have had an abortion, if you are an immigrant, if you question the existence of God, if you put your faith into what is earthly, if you love God, if you are struggling right now, you are welcome. You are beyond welcomed here. You are seen and you are cherished. In this moment in time, I want to situate you right now. You see what I'm saying? In this moment in time, mysteriously or purposefully, intentionally, I want you to know you have come to the right place. Welcome home. I am thrilled to be joined up here on the chancel by our sabbatical music director, Leroy Kennedy, and our fantastic accompanist, Willie Sullivan. And I also would love to welcome our lay minister and board member, Barbara Begner, who will light our chalice this morning.
Let us say our chalice lighting words together.
May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Use the A. Use the A. Best place to be in Atlanta on a Sunday morning. Yeah. Yeah. Through all these earthly trials of sorrow, through all these days of mortal sin, through all these eternal nights with no tomorrow, gotta stay on the straight and narrow, find a little love within. Gotta walk that road all the way to heaven. Gotta walk that road until the dawn. Gotta walk that road all night. All you need is a little light, and the closer you get, the brighter it turns on. Don't need no compass, no map or chart. Don't need no stars shining above. Don't need nothing, no, but a little light in my heart, glowing inside me like a blanket of love. Gotta walk that road all the way to heaven. Gotta walk that road until the dawn. Gotta walk that road all night. All you need is a little light, and the closer you get, the brighter it turns on. Does it? Well, seek out wonder, take that first step. Seek out meaning with friends around you. Well, seek out wisdom, find that good dream. Well, let that little light within shine on through. Gotta walk that road all the way to heaven. Gotta walk that road until the dawn. Gotta walk that road all night. All you need is a little light. And the closer you get, the brighter it turns on. And the closer you get, the brighter it turns on. Laura Beth on the tambourine there. And that's Cecil McCork behind me.
How fun was that? Woo. Yeah. Okay. You ready for a story? Yes. Don't Be Afraid to Drop by Julia Cook. Illustrations by Anita Dufala. The wind started howling. The sky turned gray and the rain clouds were full and round. There stood two raindrops, a father and a son, on their cloud staring down at the ground. Our cloud is too heavy. It's your time to drop, Father Raindrop said to the son. It's a long way down there. I just can't let go. Are you sure, Dad, that I'm the one? I like living here on our beautiful cloud. It's all I have ever known. I'm comfortable here. It's where I belong. This cloud feels like home. You are a raindrop, and all raindrops must fall. You need to let go of our cloud. There's a big world out there, and you're missing out if you choose not to drop to the ground. But I have so much fun on this cloud we all live on. Everyone knows my name. My life is fine just the way it is. Why would I want to change? I get to play games with my raindrop friends. We skateboard on pillows of air. We play raindrop baseball and eat raindrop snacks. Leaving just wouldn't be fair. You need to let go and drop to the ground. It's what all little raindrops must do. Your purpose in life is to share what you have, to give of yourself and be true. But I feel safe living up in the sky. I like things the way they are. Why would I want to leave this great place? On this cloud, I feel like a star. You have so many gifts to share with the world. So many dreams to live. Take a chance, little man. Let go of this cloud. Discover the ways you can give. But I just can't drop. I'm afraid to fall. What if it hurts when I land? What if I land in a camel's mouth? What if I land in the sand? It won't hurt when you land on our beautiful earth. I've done it myself many times. You never can tell where you might end up. But I promise, you'll be just fine. You will land where you're needed. It's okay to let go. Soon you will understand. Our earth needs your help to make everything grow, regardless of where you land. Will you go with me? Can we go together? Boy Raindrop asked his dad. You won't have to stay long. You can leave when we get there, and then I won't even be sad. I cannot go with you. You must drop alone, but I'll watch you all the way. You'll make me so proud when you water the earth on this beautiful, special day. I closed my eyes, I took a deep breath, and I let go of my beautiful cloud. It felt kind of weird to fall through the air, but on the inside, I felt proud. I'd taken a chance. I had started to grow. My purpose in life would be met. When I landed, I splattered. But it didn't matter. I'd helped a dry flower get wet. Thank you so much for sharing your gift, I heard the dry flower say. Now you can grow, and now I can grow and stay healthy, at least for another day. Then all of a sudden, I felt warm inside as a sunbeam kissed my cheek. I started to rise back up to the sky, right past the mountain peak. When I finally got back to the cloud I call home, my dad was there, waiting for me. I'm so proud of you, son, for taking a chance, and look who you turned out to be. Wow, what a difference I made. Dropping had helped me grow. Change is a good thing, and giving feels great. That's all I needed to know. Whatever your gift is, whatever your purpose, don't be afraid to let go. Grab hold of some courage, believe in yourself, and share all the things that you know. So at this time, I would like to invite the Delaney family to come forward. They are going to lead us in this morning's movement prayer. So please rise in body or spirit and join us. First, we bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present. Honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present. Amen. Blessed be. Thank you. So you're all sitting down. We're going to have you rise again in just a moment. So at this time, we would like our children, third grade and under, we want to welcome them off to their workshops this morning. So our kindergarten through third graders are going to go upstairs to room 220. Parents, caregivers, that's upstairs to 220 when you're looking for them after the service. And then our preschoolers and under will stay right here on the first floor, right over here in the preschool room. So please rise again, embody your spirit, and greet your neighbor as we send our children off to their workshops.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Oh, in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, going like the shape of justice. You told me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Let us put hands upon hearts. Feel the heartbeat, connection to life. Breathe in peace. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love can change the world. At this time, we hear the joys and sorrows of this congregation. We send love and happy wishes to Alicia Hodges, who turned 91 years old on Friday. Happy birthday to Alicia. You are invited to say the names of someone or more than one person you are holding in your heart this morning, someone who could use some loving energy coming their way. Please speak their names out loud into this holy space now. May all beings find connection. May all people find comfort. May all of us find more ways to be more loving. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, those times we have been selfish or thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we offer grace. We forgive ourselves and we forgive each other. We begin again in love. Breathing in, we honor our earth, supporting and sustaining life. We give thanks. We open our hearts in wonder for just one moment, feeling deep connection with all beings. Let us calm our bodies and quiet our minds. We breathe in peace and we exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
More than 25 years ago, I came to UUCA, and let me tell you, I had no idea what an incredible ride I was to be taken on. I'm not sure what I was searching for at the time, most likely a spiritual home for my children, but the gifts I have received have been so enriching. I am so excited to be standing here in this beautiful sanctuary with enthusiastic anticipation of what the next 25 years will bring. The path I have chosen to take here at UCA has allowed me to grow in spirit, confidence, love, and compassion. My leadership roles have grown, my friendships have grown, and my financial gifts have grown. Enriching my life in this way has required change, and these changes have required me to be flexible, humble, open-minded, courageous. There are bound to be challenges as we find our way through this new space, new programs and new ways of approaching old ideas. Our journey won't follow a straight line. There's going to be bumps and challenges, as there is with most of life. But the fact that we are here today in this beautiful space is a powerful testimony of our love for this community and our resilience. This place is my home, and you are my people. This is a new beginning. My hope is that we will all continue to work vigorously together to grow this vibrant community into the powerful and influential institution that it can be, and the one that is so desperately needed during these challenging times. Let us talk the talk, walk the walk, be generous, get involved. Together we can continue to grow above and beyond our wildest dreams. This is a tenuous, thrilling season of realizing our dreams, and we rely on your generosity to make it all real. Please show your generosity and proclaim your faith in this historic, beautiful, and always transforming community. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaken, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing the chances I'm taking sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Just gotta keep going, and I gotta stay strong. Just keep pushing on. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a climb. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. It's the climb. Keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, baby. It's all about the climb. Keep your faith.
Shea Stewart, Dustin McCourt.
Thank you for your generosity. And now please join me in the dedication of the offering. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. Maybe it's all utterly meaningless. Maybe it's all unutterably meaningful. If you want to know which, pay attention to what it means to be truly human in a world that half the time we're in love with, half the time scares the hell out of us. The unexpected sound of your name on somebody's lips, the good dream, the strange coincidence, the moment that brings tears to your eyes, the person who brings life to your life. Even the smallest events hold the greatest clues.
Part 1, belonging. There is this man who loves to read the Sunday newspaper cover to cover. He has just one problem. This man has a 5-year-old daughter who, for as much as her dad loves to read the paper, she loves to interrupt him while he tries to do so. The man tries everything to keep her occupied, but to no avail. Finally, one day as he's trying to read, he comes across the travel section and he has an idea. There, across the whole front page, there is a map of the world. He rips the page off and tears it into little pieces. He calls his daughter over to him and shows her all the little pieces on the ground. He says, "Honey, here's a game for you. It's a puzzle. Go and grab some tape and then see what you can do to put these pieces back together the way they are supposed to go." She cheerfully agrees and runs off. 5 minutes later, however, his daughter returns with the page all taped together. The man shakes his head, amazed, though he wonders if she had just put the pieces back haphazardly. It must be. A careful inspection reveals the map is perfectly reconstructed. He looks at his daughter in disbelief. Genius? How did you figure it out so quickly? She shrugs and says, "It was easy, Daddy. On the other side of the paper, there was a picture of a person. I know what a person looks like. I just put the person together, and the whole world fell into place." Follow your heart. Keep the faith. You hear these phrases sometimes, perhaps as cliches. What do they really mean? It's us. It's us. Follow where the relationships lead you. This will help you chart the path forward into the mystery, into wherever it is we are going next. Look, I know it is all doom and gloom out there when people talk about the church in America. I know. But I will be fighting with my very last breath for this institution, for the institution of real people, you, in real life, in real time, and you out there too, who are arguing, worshiping, I think it was written actually, worshiping and arguing, loving and nurturing, and doing our best to create heaven, not for each of us, but for all of us. A place where we all belong, right here on earth. In fact, right here in Atlanta, where we make our home. Part 2, behavior. Krista Tippett says, "Our spiritual traditions have carried virtues across time. They are not the stuff of saints and heroes. No, they are tools for the art of living. They are pieces of intelligence about human behavior that neuroscience is now exploring with new words and images. In short, what we practice, we become. What we practice, we become." Let me explain. It is possible to be both a futurist and a traditionalist, to have one foot in the past and the other in the future. About a year ago, I spent a long weekend in Santa Fe with an old friend. We hiked the Tsankawi Ruins Trail in Bandelier National Park. I don't know if anyone has ever seen this. I'm seeing some nodding. This is one of those trails that requires climbing a ladder up to the mesa, where the trail continues up there more or less in a loop, which was a good thing because since it looked easy enough from the sign on the side of the road, we lacked a map and no cell service. Now, this might not seem like such a big deal, but desert hiking is so much different from hiking in the Appalachian region. And as a Midwesterner and a Southeasterner, I found the landscape disorienting and repetitive. In the high desert expanse, I could not hold on to where one mesa began and the other took over. On this path, however, a map would not have mattered very much at all. You see, we were walking footpaths that were not our own. One special feature of this trail, the reason we chose it, is that it mostly consisted of ancient, deep, and I mean deep footpaths first traversed by the Pueblo people. Between 1400s and late 1500s AD, Tsankawi was home to the ancestral Tewa Pueblo people. It is believed there were just 300 or 400 of them who inhabited the land, but these footpaths must have led to a water source and back. They were so smoothed over, they were narrow. They made almost tunnels all the way up to our knees and higher. We often had to walk in single file. Eventually, we came to the cavates, cave dwellings, where people had raised their families. You could see a small hole in the stone ceiling, and I wondered if they used it to tell the time of day somehow. Various ledges and shallow holes revealed how they had cooked, stored their food, and slept. There was something about walking these 1,000-year-old paths that inspired my friend and I to a deep truth-telling, sharing things we had only ever shared with one or two people in our entire lives. We walked along the footpaths gingerly, as people have walked them before, comforted by a connection to the ancient human experience. Humans like us had walked these paths. They had heard the hawks call in the distance. They had noticed the partial moon in the afternoon azure sky. They thought about their families, just like we did. They had even made art about it. We found petroglyphs on the side of a rock, and I admit that for most of the hike, I thought this was graffiti from like the 1990s. But apparently it was something like a smiley face and stick figures, but apparently no. These faces, these images of people, someone had scrawled them on this rock side 1,000 years ago. An image of a family. Those who came before us, we walk in their footpaths. The people who dreamed up a church in Atlanta where its members could believe in a God that did not damn people to hell but blessed every living being. We walk in their footpaths, even now. You feel it? They are well worn. They are ancient. The people who built a beautiful architectural masterpiece back in 1966 on Cliff Valley Way, people who dreamed up a sanctuary in the round where parishioners could gaze into each other's faces and understand they were seeing the face of God. We walk in their footpaths, well worn, even though in some ways it feels as though nothing is as it was. We must be courageous cartographers now. For us, we are walking these footpaths, but out into new territory now. And this is not a judgment, by the way, on where we have been. What we accomplished in previous eras and earlier times in this congregation, it was beautiful and powerful. All the effort you made back then, if you were here, the time you put in, it was worthy. It was all worth it. You created traditions and rituals that made life meaningful, maybe even saved a life. You gave your creative energy to support a community that needed it. The writer Adrienne Marie Brown reminds us nothing is wasted, nothing is a failure. Emergence. Emergence is a system that makes use of everything in the iterative process. And the writer Octavia Butler writes, civilization is to groups what intelligence is to individuals. It is a means of combining the intelligence of many to achieve ongoing group adaptation. So where are we going from here? In a way, we are the daughter in the story. Or maybe this really is your experience at the beginning of a puzzle. The pieces are scattered everywhere. Imagine her overwhelm. Imagine your own overwhelm. I mean, we arrived at our campus for our soft opening 1 week ago and realized we were immediately understaffed, like immediately. Overwhelmed with wonderful energy and people, you. Perhaps this is what it is like for you when you finally arrive at something in your own life, a new career or job maybe, a new relationship, a major loss, a new medical reality. There are all the pieces of your life scattered about. Where to begin? Where to start? We will need to do what the little girl did in the story. We may not know where we are going, but we do know people. Our relationships can be the clues, the guides. People we surround ourselves with create the topography of our new territory. You'll notice Sunday morning the people who brought you to your seat, we're not calling them ushers or greeters anymore. I know it's mind-blowing. We're calling them guides. You see, nothing matters more than how we are in this space. Not what we do here necessarily, but how we do it. So how will you be here? Which brings me to part 3, belief. Growing up, Unitarian Universalist, I don't think the word faith was used very often. In my humanist UU church in Austin on the west side of Chicago, the minister preached ideas and stories of great justice heroes and leaders, liberal ideologies, sure, but faith? No. That word was rarely used. Many people came to the church to escape the concept altogether, in fact, which to them rang the bells of dogma and doctrine, papering over one's intellect and reasoning mind with the authority of the church until nothing of the individual's own belief remains. But in seminary, I sat at the feet of theological prophets such as Dr. James Cone, Cornel West, intellectuals of deep, abiding faith, walking the same halls, following the footpaths of one of the great liberal theologians of the 20th century, Paul Tillich, who had a few things to say about faith. In a book he published in the 1950s, he lamented how use of the word faith has been misconstrued. Almost all the struggles between faith and knowledge, he said, are rooted in the wrong understanding of faith as a type of knowledge, which has a low degree of evidence, but is supported by a religious authority. We are left with the idea that faith is something we will get from someone else, and that we adopt by kind of an act of will. If you don't have it, well, you just haven't tried hard enough. This sets up a traditional conflict of faith and reason, but in fact, Tillich said there is no contradiction between reason and faith at all. Faith, he says, is not about what we know, but how we feel about what we know. Not about how our mind engages with the world, but how our heart does. It is a sense of being at home, that felt sense that we are bound up in the vast mystery and beauty of all things, that life will call us onward. It is affirmed through our relationships that we are not alone, that we see and experience from each other. It is what gets us out of bed in the morning and lets us settle into sleep at night. It is what centers us when we have had the wind knocked out of us with puzzle pieces scattered everywhere. You see, you already have everything you need to be the courageous cartographer of your life, of this new era that we are entering as a community, but also, I think, as a society. As long as you stay connected to love, to your primary commitment to love others, you will find your way through the mystery. Now, map makers use a variety of tools, compasses, watches as well. My sense of direction, personally, is somewhat lacking, and I try to wear watches, but the truth is I just can't keep it up for very long. The staff of UCA will tell you I never really know what time it is. But I always want to. But I want you to tell me what time it is. I want to hear from you the time. See, I don't need to be self-sufficient. I need to be connected. We don't always have to know it all ourselves. We just have to stay connected. So what time is it? I see like Dave Shoquist. Should I look at my watch and tell her? The time is now. The time is now for us to begin charting a new course. And we have all the tools we need to live our faith in 3 dimensions, not resting in what is easy or what is proven, but what is written on the tablet of our own heart and reflected in how we treat others. Are we kind? Do we really, truly see each other? Are we really loving and welcoming? Are we just and equitable? The time is now to learn and to live UCA's mission. We are transforming lives through courageous action and soulful connection. That is our mission. And the life we are transforming, it is yours. We can start close in, one step at a time, little by little, feeling our way through the footpaths of history, knowing as a people we have been here before. We have survived a plague before. We have built a house where love could live before. We have launched a gallery space before. We have taken a public stand for justice before. We have fed the hungry before. Just like the young daughter whose father gave her a map and 1,000,000 tiny pieces. If you can just focus on the people, the relationships that draw you onward, modeling where you need to go next, the pieces of the puzzle will all come together. Then you can release anxiety about where the lines are drawn, where all the roads used to lead. We are charting new pathways out from the beautifully smoothed ancient ones with deep gratitude for all who have gone before us. What time is it? It is our time. Amen.
Hamba kukanen cuencos, si 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 hamba. We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching. We are marching in the light of God.
It's okay if you are afraid or sad or grieving what has gone before. It's okay if you're overwhelmed seeing all the puzzle pieces laid out before you. It's okay if you are just excited. Just remember this is where you belong. Remember also to whom you belong. And consider how you treat others, how you live, your primary commitment of how you will be in the world. And finally, have faith in your own transformation. Keep the faith that you too can forge new footpaths for future generations to step into years and years from now. May you be blessed, even as you bless others along your way. Go in love.
We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching. Ooh, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching. Ooh, we are marching in the light of God.